Crazy how fast the internet can twist your life, right? One minute, you're just a guy living quietly, doing your job, lifting weights to stay sane, and the next, your ex is using your face for views. Look at this wannabe alpha. He's pathetic, she wrote under a video of me deadlifting 315 pounds. She thought mocking me online would make her famous. Instead, it burned her entire little empire to the ground. She's canceled now, broke, forgotten, screaming into a void that stopped caring a long time ago. Meanwhile, I got my peace back. Hey, Reddit. Never thought I'd be the one typing this out, but here we are. What started as a normal relationship turned into something I couldn't recognize anymore. She wanted clout. I wanted respect. And somewhere between ring lights and reality, we fell apart. I'm 28 now. Work as an electrician. Not exactly the kind of thing that gets you trending, but it's honest, steady work. I like fixing things that actually matter. Real problems. Sparks, wires, light, it all makes sense. A couple years ago, though, I met Natalie. She was 25 and had that kind of energy that pulls a room in. The loud laugh, the constant phone in her hand, the look at me glow. The kind of girl who didn't just live life, she broadcasted it. We met through a friend at a party. I swear, she was on her phone more than she was actually talking to anyone. But she was cute, confident, and had this dream of becoming a full-time influencer. 60 followers on TikTok, doing skits and dance trends like her big break was one upload away. I figured, why not? She was fun, different. Maybe a little high maintenance, but I could handle that. At first it was good. She was broke, bouncing between retail jobs, but I respected her hustle. I wasn't her wallet. I paid my half, she paid hers. If she fell short, she figured it out. I wasn't about to fund her influencer investments like ring lights and haul videos. She called it independence. I called it balance. She even insisted the apartment lease go under her name, said it made her feel empowered like a boss. I let her have it. No fight. She wanted control. Cool. What she didn't know was that little power move would come back to bite her one day. The early months were simple. Netflix nights, cheap tacos, normal couple stuff. I helped her with small things, fixing her tripod, rigging her lights, making her setups look a little more professional. I wasn't in it for fame. I just liked her smile when something worked, but then the cracks started showing. She couldn't go 10 minutes without checking her phone. Arguments turned into vague posts about toxic people or low-energy men holding her back. And every time I refused to dance in one of her videos, she'd act like I'd betrayed her brand. Come on, it's cute. People love couple content, she'd whine. But I wasn't about to be a background prop for her online fantasy. And then it happened. One stupid TikTok in our kitchen blew up, 10,000 views overnight. She acted like she'd won an Oscar. From that day, Natalie wasn't my girlfriend anymore. She was Natalie, the content creator. Suddenly, laundry didn't matter, bills didn't matter, only the algorithm did. That's when I realized something big. She didn't want a relationship. She wanted an audience, and I was just part of the set. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. She started saying things like, ugh, my followers hate when I disappear for a day. As if those 30,000 strangers online were her bosses and she was running a Fortune 500 company. I just sipped my coffee, half amused, half exhausted, watching her turn her life into a performance. But it wasn't just her attitude toward her career that changed. It was how she started turning that same energy on me. One night, after a brutal 12-hour shift rewiring a commercial building, I came home dead tired, boots still dusty, back screaming for mercy. All I wanted was a shower, maybe a quiet dinner. She didn't even look up from her phone before saying, "You just don't get it, Alex. You're too plain. Guys like you don't go viral." I dropped my toolbox, smirked, and said, "Yeah, well, guys like me keep the power on while you're lip-syncing to TikTok audio. Shocking, right?" She didn't laugh. She didn't even smile. These days, she never did. Not when the joke was on her. Because what she really wanted wasn't a partner. She wanted an accessory. A smiling background prop for her couple skits. The next weekend, she tried again, shoving her phone in my face while I was eating. "Babe, just say this line with me. It'll be funny." I shook my head. "Natalie, I'm not your backup dancer," she pouted. "But it's cute content. Couples who post together blow up faster." "Yeah," I said. "And couples who don't act like clowns last longer." That shut her up. For a while. But she didn't stop. The more I pulled away, the harder she pushed. She started comparing me to other guys online, showing me clips of shredded influencers and their girlfriends hyping them up. See, that's engagement. I didn't even look up. Good for him. I'll stick to making sure your Wi-Fi actually works. She'd roll her eyes, call me negative, but deep down I knew what was happening. She wasn't just chasing numbers anymore. She was chasing validation. Then came the networking phase. Creator mixers, she called them. Basically a bunch of wannabes with ring lights, trading followers like business cards. She wanted me to tag along. I laughed. Exposure for what? Electrician thirst traps? Should I strip wire in slow-mo for likes? She didn't think it was funny. By then, she'd met some guy named Matthew, another content creator. She wouldn't stop talking about him. He just gets it, you know? He's so driven, I smirked. Nothing screams driven like begging strangers for likes. That one hit her. And it hit me too, because that's when I knew I was done. She didn't want love. She wanted an audience, so I stopped arguing. Stopped trying to balance her fantasy world with my real one. I was just waiting for the one move that would make it clear it was over, and it came soon enough. One night at the gym, I finally hit my goal, 315 pounds. 3 plates. For anyone who lifts, that number means something. It's not light. It's earned. I chalked my hands, dug deep, and pulled, clean, heavy, solid. I dropped the bar, breathing hard, proud. I didn't know she was filming. The next morning, my phone was going insane. Notifications stacked. Group chats buzzing. Bro, is this you? Then I saw it. Her TikTok. The clip of me mid-lift, slowed down, edited with clown music. The caption across the screen. Look at this wannabe alpha. He's pathetic, and I just stared at it. Not even shocked. Just cold. The kind of cold that comes when you realize someone you once loved doesn't see you as human anymore, just as content. The comments were brutal. The same recycled garbage over and over. LMFAO, not the wannabe alpha grunts. Girl, run! Deadlift? More like dead weight. Upgrade time. The internet did what it does best. It tore into me like a pack of hyenas chasing the scent of fresh drama. The craziest part? The gym had no filming other member signs plastered everywhere. Everyone knew the rule. She knew it too. And still she snuck her phone out, just to turn me into a punchline. By breakfast, the clip had blown up. Hundreds of thousands of views. Her follower count jumped overnight, from 30,000 to over 80. It was the biggest spike she'd ever had. She strutted around like she'd just won an award, talking about sponsorships, collabs, brand deals, and like clowning her boyfriend online was a career move, but all I saw was someone lighting a match without realizing she was standing in gasoline. I didn't rage, didn't text her, didn't post a single word. I went quiet, methodical quiet. First step, screenshots. Every frame, every comment, every share, backed up in the cloud, saved to a hard drive. She thought she could delete it later? Not a chance. Second step, I called my lawyer. Hypothetically, I said, if someone records me without permission, edits it to humiliate me, and posts it for millions, do I have a case? He chuckled. Not so hypothetical, I'm guessing. Not at all. Then his voice sharpened. You can go after her for misappropriation of likeness, false light, emotional distress. Plus, if the gym band's filming, that helps your case. Save everything. Don't confront her yet. Already done, I said. When I hung up, that same cold calm spread through my chest, the kind you only feel when you stop caring. She thought she'd gone viral. What she didn't realize was that she'd just handed me ammunition. The rest of the day, I played it normal. Fixed a breaker. Grabbed lunch with the guys. Laughed when they joked, "Don't grunt too loud, Alex, you'll break the internet again." They thought I was embarrassed. I wasn't. I was already 3 steps ahead. That night I came home, pulled out my old duffel bag, and started packing. Shirts, jeans, work pants, tools, everything folded neatly, stacked, precise. Each item that went into that bag felt like another nail sealing this relationship shut. No speech. No shouting. No warning. Just action. Because I wasn't going to waste breath on someone who thought humiliating me was content. Then the door opened. Natalie bounced in, all smiles, her phone lighting up her face. "Babe, the video's insane! 500,000 views already. Look, this comment has 10,000 likes. People are saying I'm hilarious." She shoved the screen in my face. The top comment read, "This girl deserves better. He's giving Wannabe energy." She laughed like she'd just won an Oscar. I crossed my arms, leaned against the counter. "Congrats," I said flatly. "You finally figured out how to get famous, by clowning the guy who paid half your bills." She rolled her eyes. "Don't be so sensitive. This is how the game works. Relatable content, raw moments. People eat that up. I even got a sponsor this morning. Maybe a collab deal." I smirked. "So you're trading respect for a $20 discount code?" Big moves, Natalie. Really proud. Her jaw tightened, but she pushed through. "You don't get it. This is my career now. Matthew said this was genius content. He said I'm finally playing in the big leagues." I raised an eyebrow. "Matthew, your guru? Let me guess. Next he'll tell you to dump me because it's good for engagement?" She didn't answer. Her phone buzzed again. The screen lit up just long enough for me to see the message. "Matthew, can't wait for tonight." She fumbled to lock it, but I'd already seen. I just laughed, low and tired. "Yeah, you're real subtle." Her face went pale. "It's not what it looks like, he's just..." "Spare me," I cut in. "You're not smart enough to hide it, and I'm not dumb enough to care. You wanted someone on your level? Go have fun with Matthew. Just remember, and he's not paying your rent." That hit her. She froze, eyes wide, like the world finally caught up to her. I zipped the duffel bag shut, slung it over my shoulder, and nodded toward the door. "Lease is in your name. You wanted independence? Congratulations. Now you've got it," her voice cracked. "Wait, you're seriously leaving? Over a video?" I looked her dead in the eye. "Not over a video. Over the fact that you showed me exactly who you are. The video just saved me time." She scrambled for something to throw back. "You can't just walk out. This is our place." I laughed. "Our place? You mean your place? You made sure it was in your name so you could feel empowered, remember?" I tapped the pile of bills on the counter. "Electric, internet, all due soon. Empowerment comes with payments. Enjoy that." Her eyes darted to the envelopes, panic creeping in. "You're an ass. You'll never find anyone who puts up with your boring routine like I did." I grabbed the Canon camera from the corner, the one I bought when she cried about not having the right setup. Folded the tripod, tucked it under my arm. "This one's mine. You can figure out how to film your next genius post without it." She stood there, speechless, mouth half open, hands trembling. I didn't wait. I opened the door, stepped out into the hallway, and for the first time in months, breathed Mrs. Jensen from across the hall poked her head out. Sweet older lady, always thanked me when I helped fix her fuses. She took one look at the duffel over my shoulder, then at Natalie's face twisted in fury behind me. "Everything all right, Alex?" she asked softly. I smiled, steady and calm. "Couldn't be better." "Just cutting out the dead weight," Natalie hissed. "Don't tell her anything." But I just kept smiling. "Don't worry, Mrs. Jensen," I said. "You'll hear her version online soon enough." Mrs. Jensen gave Natalie a look sharp enough to slice the air, then quietly shut her door. The hallway fell silent again. I walked away, duffel heavy on my shoulder, camera bag under my arm. The door slammed behind me, her voice muffled, fading into nothing. Probably the same lines she'd been rehearsing for months. I was insecure, controlling, boring. The same old script, but out here it was quiet. I tossed the bag into my truck, set the camera case in the back seat, and took a long breath behind the wheel. No guilt, no doubt. Just relief. She thought that viral video made me a joke, but all it really did was show the world who she truly was. The kind of person who tears down the hand that's been holding her up. Her sponsors, her buddy Matthew, those millions of strangers in her comments. None of them were going to split the rent with her. None of them were sticking around when the views dried up. I started the engine. She wanted independence so bad. Well, now she could choke on it. And me? I wasn't the punchline anymore. I was done being the background of her performance. The next morning, I woke up in my buddy's spare room, feeling lighter than I had in months. No buzzing phone. No fake laughter echoing through the house. Just quiet. Peaceful, grounding quiet. I brewed some coffee, sat down and scrolled through my screenshots. Every frame of that gym video saved like evidence. The caption still made my jaw tighten. "Look at him trying to be the alpha male. He's pathetic." But this time it didn't sting. It was Exhibit A by noon. I was on the phone with my lawyer. "You've got everything?" he asked. Screenshots, comments, the original link, even saved it offline, I said. He chuckled. Good, that video's leverage. We'll hit her for misusing your likeness, false light, emotional distress. She filmed you without consent. The gym's no filming policy helps too. I leaned back and let it sink in. So we're good to file? We're good to file, he said. Paperwork goes out tonight. When I hung up, I couldn't help but smile. Natalie thought she'd embarrassed me, but she'd just handed me power on a silver platter. A few days later, my phone buzzed with a message from my lawyer. Notice served. I didn't even need to ask how it went. I knew exactly what was coming. An hour later, my phone lit up like Vegas. You've got to be kidding me. A legal claim over a TikTok? You're ruining my career. I typed one line back. You ruined it yourself. Then I blocked her, but of course she didn't stop there. That same night, she posted a tearful video, mascara-streaked, trembling voice. Hey guys, so some of you know about the drama with my ex. He's suing me over a video I posted. It was just a joke. He's trying to destroy my career because he's bitter. For about 5 minutes, her fans ate it up. You'll get through this, queen. Men are so fragile. But the internet doesn't stay loyal for long, not when receipts start flying. One girl stitched her video and said flatly, Nah, Natalie, this isn't about fragile men. You recorded someone without consent and posted it for clout. That's not funny, Anna, that's a violation. Another guy put her original gym clip side by side with her tearful rant. Caption read, Imagine humiliating your own man for views, then crying when consequences hit. The tide flipped overnight. Comments went from you got this to privacy invader vibes. Sponsors ghosted her. Her follower count froze, then dipped. Screenshots of that cruel caption, look at him trying to be the alpha male, spread everywhere. Twitter threads, Reddit posts. Her quirky influencer image was gone, replaced by one word, toxic. Then the guilt trippers started showing up. Her sister, her mom. All with the same script. She's suffering. Be the bigger man, I laughed. She'd turned me into a public punchline for likes, and now I was supposed to rescue her? No thanks. While she scrambled, I thrived. Got my own small studio across town. Quiet, clean mine. Work picked up. My name meant reliable. Hers meant chaos. And the gym? That was the sweetest part. A week after the notice was served, I went back to the same rack. Same bar, same weight. Same me, just quieter inside. I loaded 315, chalked my hands, and pulled it clean. No phones pointed at me, no clown music blaring, no mocking captions. Just me, the steel, and gravity. The bar hit the ground, and for the first time in a long time, I stood tall and calm. My heart pounded, but not from anger, just relief. I finally saw it clearly. I wasn't the one who looked pathetic. She was. I was building myself back up while she was tearing herself down for strangers online. By the end of the month, the difference showed. My lawyer called one afternoon, his tone steady. She's got 30 days to respond to the demand letter. Claims for false light, misuse of your image, and emotional distress. If she ignores it, we'll move forward. Good, I said, pouring myself a drink after the call, because across the city, Natalie wasn't doing nearly as well. The followers were leaving, the sponsors were ghosting, and the perfect image she'd built for 2 years was cracking apart for everyone to see. Nobody wanted to touch the privacy invader. She once told me, "You're too plain. Alex, guys like you don't go viral." Funny. She went viral all right, just not the way she wanted. And now she wasn't laughing. But I was, quietly to myself, every time I saw how different our lives had become. Work had never been better. Electricians don't get likes, but we get calls, and I was booked solid. My name meant reliable. Hers meant drama. While she scrambled for sympathy, I was wiring offices, taking on bigger contracts, earning respect the old-fashioned way. No hashtags, no ring lights. Just skill, sweat, and a reputation that actually paid the bills. I upgraded my place too. A one-bedroom with clean white walls, a little balcony, and silence. No tripods cluttering the corners. No fake morning routine photos being staged in my living room. Just peace. At the gym, I started treating that barbell like a scoreboard. 315, then 335, each lift heavier, cleaner, steadier. Every rep was a reminder. I wasn't the clown in that video. I was the man who got stronger alone, without an audience. And somewhere between those workouts and long workdays, I met Cassie. Of all places, it happened at a supplier trade expo. She worked in marketing, sharp, confident, the kind of woman who didn't need validation from strangers online. We started talking over bad coffee and vendor samples, and it just clicked. No fake laughs. No camera pointed at my face. Just real conversation. She laughed at my sarcasm because she actually found it funny, not because it would get views. We grabbed dinner, then weekend hikes. She asked about my work, and she listened, really listened. One night, sitting out on my balcony, she looked at me and said, "You're steady, in the best way." That hit deep. Because steady was the same word Natalie used to mock me with. The thing she left me over. But with Cassie, it wasn't a flaw. It was what she valued most. While my life moved forward, Natalie's was unraveling in slow motion. Matthew, the guy she traded me for, turned out to be exactly what everyone warned her about. He used her for collabs, milked her remaining followers, and then humiliated her live on stream. When the audio glitched, he snapped, called her deadweight, and washed up. Viewers clipped it instantly. Within hours, it was all over social media. A week later, he dumped her publicly with a smug, "Time to grow" solo post and tagged another girl in the same breath. Her brand collapsed. Followers dropped from 70,000 to 60 to 50. Sponsors bailed. She went from being a relatable influencer to a walking cautionary tale. The bills I used to split with her, rent, utilities, everything, stacked up fast. She used to brag about independence. Now she was crying about it on camera, and that's when she started crawling back. First, it was texts. "Alex, I'm sorry. The video was dumb. I miss us." Ignored. Then voicemails. Her voice cracked. "Matthew was awful. You were safe, reliable. Please call me back." Deleted. Then came the final act. She showed up outside my new apartment one night. Makeup smudged, eyes red, standing in the rain like a ghost of who she used to be. "Alex," she whispered, hands clasped. "I messed up. You were the only one who cared. I didn't let her in. I stood in the doorway, arms crossed. You mocked me for clout, Natalie. That's on you, not me." Then I shut the door, she snapped. Stormed off, heels echoing across the lot. I thought she was gone, until I heard the sharp, scraping scream of metal against paint. My stomach dropped. I ran outside. She was dragging her keys down the side of my truck. "Are you insane?" I shouted. She spun around, eyes wild. "You ruined my life. You think you can just walk away?" Before I could even answer, I noticed the college kids across the street, phones out, recording everything. One of them yelled, "Yo! Isn't that the girl who posted the gym video?" And that was it. Natalie froze, realizing the same internet she once worshipped had turned on her. Within hours, that clip went viral. Influencer who clowned her boyfriend caught vandalizing his truck after he dumped her. It blew up faster than anything she'd ever posted. The comments were merciless. From influencer to criminal in 4K. Guess she found new content, felony edition. Her brand wasn't dying anymore. It was buried. She tried to message me, begging me not to press charges. But I filed the police report anyway and sent the footage straight to my lawyer. When she realized I wasn't backing down, she turned the guilt up to max. Long, angry messages calling me heartless. I blocked her again, then her family tried. Her sister texted, "She's suffering, Alex. Stop being petty and take her back." Her mom called, preaching about family sticking together. I just laughed. "Family sticks together," I said. "Tell her to stick with Matthew." Then hung up. He was gone. Blocked, erased, like he never existed. The balance had finally shifted. Months ago, she was the one laughing, parading around with Matthew, flaunting her new freedom and bragging about brand deals. Now, she was the one spiraling. The one keying cars in parking lots, going viral for all the wrong reasons. Every rep I lifted at the gym, every time Cassie laughed at one of my dry jokes, every glance at Natalie's dropping follower count, it all hit the same. This was closure. She wanted fame. She got infamy. She wanted independence. She got overdue bills. She wanted excitement. She got Matthew, and Matthew dumped her like a bad trend. And me? I wanted respect. I found it the day I walked out that door. That's the difference. I didn't wait for apologies or second chances. I didn't hope she'd change. I just moved on, and somehow the world followed my lead. Meanwhile, Natalie's independent era collapsed fast. The fancy lease she bragged about? Gone. Sponsors ghosted. Brand deals vanished. Her followers dropped under 50,000, and the comments under her desperate real talk videos turned cruel. Washed. Mean girl energy. Career over. Rent notices stacked up until she finally packed her pride and moved back into her parents' house, the same bedroom she used to swear she'd never see again. Then, the invite came. A mutual friend's birthday party. Normally, I'd skip that kind of drama, but this time I felt like showing up. Not to prove anything, to remember how far I'd come. Cassie came with me. We walked into that bar and heads turned, not because I was famous, but because I wasn't that guy from Natalie's viral meltdown anymore. I looked sharper, lighter. Cassie, confident, calm, radiant, was the kind of woman who made every room feel smaller. She was everything Natalie pretended to be. The night was easy. Laughs. Drinks, no tension until she walked in. Natalie, uninvited, unpolished, wearing that old mask of confidence that didn't fool anyone anymore. Whispers rippled through the crowd, and when her eyes found mine, the crack in her fake smile said it all. "Alex, we need to talk privately," she said. I didn't move. "Say it here." She hesitated, then spilled her story. How Matthew ruined her, how she lost everything, how she'd been in therapy, how she finally saw that I was the best thing she ever had. Her voice trembled. The room went still. I looked at her, calm as ever. "You mocked me for clout. You trashed me online. You keyed my truck. And now you're broke, living with your parents asking for a redo. That's on you." Her face twitched. She wasn't used to me standing tall. I kept going. "You called me boring, predictable. Funny thing, that's exactly why people trust me. That's why my life's better now. And you? You're a walking warning label." Cassie slipped her hand onto my arm, and that tiny gesture said everything. I'd moved on, upgraded. Natalie's eyes flicked between us. "So that's it? You just move on like I never mattered?" I smiled. "You mattered as a lesson," the crowd murmured. A few phones were out. She saw it, panicked, and lashed out. "You'll regret this. You're pathetic." Someone near the bar muttered loud enough for all to hear, "No, she's the pathetic one." Laughter followed. Natalie's face flushed crimson as she stormed out, alone just like before. I raised my glass. "Well, that's done." Later, under the string lights outside, Cassie leaned her head on my shoulder. "You handled that perfectly," she whispered. "Why wouldn't I?" I said. She turned me into a punchline. Now she's her own, that was it. The closure. No revenge posts. No viral takedowns. Just peace. She wanted clout, I wanted calm. She woke up to chaos. I woke up to Cassie, no captions needed.